Today, I have the opportunity to meet with Jan, a cellist, originally from Russia, now living in North America and touring extensively his beautiful
music.
You take all of that, what we've been talking about, and much more, and you look into the crystal ball forward. Where do you... What a delight. Here, let me get a picture of us together. A new friend, I hope, for the rest of our life. Somebody that is helping bring peace.
Absolutely.
Through his music. I hope you're going to really enjoy the few minutes I got to have with Jan on a beautiful evening, Granville Island, here in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. I hope that in some way his story inspires you and your story. He's doing something beautiful with music, helping people come to a place of peace in what often feels like a very troubled world. I hope you enjoy our time together.
Jan Maksin.
Jan Maksin.
Yes, sir.
Where'd you come from, Jan?
I came from Russia.
Okay.
Actually, the town called, it was called Leningrad at the time. It's been renamed into St Petersburg since, and that's where I was born and grew up. A beautiful city, far north, cold, and dark nights in winter, white nights in summer, and that's where I spent first 16 years of my life.
Life like Jan growing up for you in the Soviet Union at the time you did?
Well, that's the only life I knew, so I try to make the best out of it. You know, I did things that I loved. I played a lot of guitar, and I played a lot of rock and roll at the time, a lot of American music, a lot of English rock, blues, things like that. That's parallel to playing classical music on the cello. But cello was not exactly the top of my passions. It was guitar and aviation. And so I did a lot of, built a lot of model airplanes, and at the very first opportunity I started skydiving and learning to fly small planes. Luckily, there was opportunity to do that in the Soviet Union. Just
all in Russia before you were 16. You were able to do all
before I came. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
The love for music came about because of who or what?
Because of my parents and genes, I guess. We had a very musical household. Both my parents, although not professional musicians, my father was a physician and my mother was a librarian. Both played musical instruments in a very accomplished way, and they taught me music since I remember myself. I remember already playing the piano and guitar probably when I was 3. I knew at least 3 chords on the guitar, and I could accompany myself playing a few songs. Then I heard the cello when I was 5, and when I was 6, my parents bought me a cello and sent me to for formal training because they were really excited. They wanted, I guess, but partially vicariously, they wanted for me to pursue professionally what they didn't end up pursuing professionally.
They wanted to live through you.
Right, yeah, to a certain degree, but I don't resent them for that. I am very happy with how it all turned out, for whatever reasons they were behind. Honestly, I take it back. I think maybe they just wanted, they wanted for me to to be good at something, and they gave me an opportunity to try me out in sports, at which I sucked. I got kicked out of gymnastics at the from the second training session, and I'm very grateful that it happened, that I didn't become a gymnast. A couple of other things, tennis, I remember, a couple of other activities, but music stuck with me, and I just kept playing. Never thought I would be playing cello for a living. If anything, I thought I would either become a pilot or play rock and roll on guitar, or both, but not the cello. It was not until I was in my late teens that I started taking cello seriously.
When did you, at age 16, know you were coming here, and how did that come about?
I was thinking of American music as most of it came from the United States. That's where my passion was, and the whole romantics of coming to America was in music, listening to American music and what it was like. And I came as a high school exchange student through Rotary International.
Nice.
Have a culture shock, not so much from coming to America, but to the fact that 95% of the kids at Paramus High were Sicilian Americans, first generation Sicilian kids, and that was quite an interesting experience for me.
Soprano-like?
Yeah, very much so. Very soprano.
And you could probably fit in with the
I could, except my English was not that great, and I just came from the Soviet Union, from just behind the Iron Curtain, and those kids have never seen a Russian. They knew about Russia was Yakov Smirnov and vodka. That's pretty much all they knew. We all knew REM. We all knew Pink Floyd. We all knew Guns N' Roses. We all knew Bob Dylan, and as soon as I got a guitar in my hands, we all became best friends. So that's how I made that's how music made me friends pretty much throughout my
classical
whole life.
Cello and the rock and roll and the fusion.
You're not allowed to. There's no room for fucking up. Right. You're supposed to play the right notes at all times. You can't get lost. You can't. Right. So
Perfection.
It's kind of it's super perfectionist. Like constantly, I could never fully be free, and I had that playing rock, playing blues, playing jazz as much as I could. That kind of freedom, and that's why one day I had an epiphany. I thought, why am I doing what am I doing here? I don't want to spend. Life is too short.
So making something classical, like classical music, cooler. Jan, I'm thinking about when people may watch you in concert or listen to your music, who would they think that you might emulate or gravitate toward?
so many names I could mention. You know, from Simon and Garfunkel and the Beatles to Sting and Bob Dylan and Leonard Cohen and
I'm thinking Kenny G.
A lot of Kenny G, possibly, yeah.
No Barry White?
Barry White, yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yes, pretty much.
Composing as well?
Composing on the cello, yeah.
Okay.
Composing. So the last 2 albums is all 100% my original content, my original music. I also recently, in the last few years, I started writing songs, a few songs in my native language, which is Russian. I just finished a new song that just came out in Ukrainian.
Yourself wanting to be or going?
The further I go in my journey, the more I realize the incredible power of music in many ways, in healing, in bringing people together, in creating peace inside our souls. And once we create peace inside our souls, it starts spreading to the universe around each one of us. And I think
congratulations on all your success.
Thank you so much. Great vibe.
Appreciate your time.
Really appreciate
and I
it,
wish you all the best in the future as you achieve much more than you've already done. What a delight here. Let me get a picture of us together. A new friend, I hope, for the rest of our life. Somebody that is helping bring peace.
Absolutely.
Through his music.